Hey everybody, it's Josh Wilmuth with Central Texas Technology Solutions, and I've got another Georgetown Leaders call with you that I want to share with you. I want to introduce to you, this is Joey Montez. He is the president of Unity Connect here in Austin, and he works with organizations of all sizes in order to work with them on their ISP, their internet service provider, to their cellular coverage and bills, and just everything involved and encompassing that businesses have to worry about nowadays when it comes to connectivity and making sure their employees have the right kind of connectivity. So Joey, thank you so much for taking the time to come on and talk with us today. Tell us a little bit more about Unity Connect and what you guys do.
So my domain name is Unity Connect, but the company Unity Communications is how you'll recognize us. But honestly, for me, this started about 10 years ago, just working with some of the larger carriers, AT&T being the primary, but been helping businesses grow for over 10 years, by restructuring and streamlining their infrastructure, companies' processes, connectivity, and more. We really take pride in how we look at each client, Josh, treating them, as a unique business. We believe that businesses may look the same, but they deal with a unique bundle of challenges all the time. So understanding what makes each business different really helps us identify, specific needs and how to best meet them. Our consultants, myself included, have a really good advanced telecom experience in the field and at least 10 years of experience actually working customer to customer, B2B. So the idea is with our group in partnership with companies like CTTS, AT&T, your Spectrum, Viasat, and in your regions where you may not have some of those big carriers like Georgetown, we can identify and locate facilities that you may not know that are out there. So some of our happy clients this year, 2020, American Bank, Twin Liquors, Discover Vision Center, right here in Round Rock, RRC Power and Energy, Tiger Sanitation, and we can go on. But more importantly, I think that we're here to help. We're here to support. We look at an array of product sets within the carriers. So if you're a customer who has a mobility account with Verizon or Sprint or AT&T, we take a deep dive into those accounts to make sure that you're spending or you're on the right plans. Oftentimes, we get so busy and we don't know what we're spending. All we know is that bill just continues to go up, right? As we add more people, not realizing some of the plans that are out there, or maybe we don't have a personal relationship with a carrier rep. That's where an organization like Unity Communications can really come in and help fill that void. So yeah, we're really excited to partner up with CTTS, and help support clients. But a lot of times, people don't know what they have. I'll give you an example. This morning, we were working with an organization. They're spending $30,000 a month in spend and using about 75% of that network. So without a telecommunications audit, they really don't know what they have, and they're leaving a lot of opportunity on the table to help advance their business when it comes to different cloud services, different types of networks, redundant solutions that are out there. And so we were able to come in and help them save quite a bit of money, but bring them into the 21st century of new technology that is out there in terms of software-defined networks, data centers, and so forth. So yeah, really excited to partner up with you and work with the teams and the business leaders here in Georgetown. And so again, we work in tandem. A lot of times you may have needs or wants and desires for your customers, but those customers are scratching their head and saying, where am I going to get the money for this, right? I do want cloud services. I do want, you know, all the bells and whistles that CTTS can provide us as a business. Where am I going to find that revenue and allow me to help because you just never know where we can help you. So.
Yeah. So you used a word earlier that's a scary word to me and a lot of other business owners out there, and that's audit. So what is a telecommunications audit? Is this going to hurt me? Is this going to make me feel better? What does that look like? And how do you go through that process with an organization?
Sure. Well, the idea is not to make anybody feel wrong and stupid about it, right? We want to make sure you feel the warm and fuzzies. The idea is to look where we can save, look at where we can improve technologies. And oftentimes, you know, we see a 2.5 times ROI when we do that. You know, that's just the reality of it. And right now, during COVID, and we've got so many people working remote, and companies are looking for ways to save money. And they just, I don't care how big or small you are, whether you're one-man, two-man shop, or you're, you know, you got 1,000 employees under you, you're looking to save money right now. And so the idea is we come in, we perform, you know, just a holistic look. We look at your bills, we look at your spend, we look at, you know, how efficient are we being with what you're on today? And then we make recommendations. And oftentimes, the way the technology is moving, it's not costing us more money, it's actually costing us less. And so for fiber optics and dedicated solutions, you know, several years ago, you know, 10 years ago, you could find yourself spending $1,000 for a 20 meg, you know, fiber optic connection. Today, you know, you could chop that in half or less. And so technology is really improving. And the cost for some of these things are coming way down. Now, there's the old adage where you call into a call center and you know, and that call center rep may say, well, we don't have those services available. Well, those folks are set to a certain product or skill set. So they're going to talk about, you know, DSL, UVerse, or coax, right? We're going to look at facilities. We're going to do a little bit deeper dive to see what's available and truly what's in the ground, what's the closest to you, so we can get the best service for you. And we work with the carriers to accomplish that. We've got, you know, combined 50 years experience with all of us on the team of being able to help organizations find what they truly need. And I know that can be frustrating. You call in and, you know, it's hard enough to just pick up the phone and know you're dialing into an 800 number to look for services. So what we're trying to accomplish and what the goal is to have that personal touch, that you like me, you know me, you trust me, and you're going to work with me because the proof's in the pudding. So I think that's where we can be a big help. We can support, and like I said earlier, whether you're one or two man shop, or you have 1,000 employees, we can help you with that, and we're on standby.
Yeah, I love it. You know, from what we're seeing out there right now, we've got a lot of folks that are moving offices. They're either increasing their square footage, or they're decreasing their square footage, or they're just moving to a different part of town. But by far, majority of people are calling us saying, hey, we need more bandwidth because we're doing more video calls and we're leveraging the newer technology, not only with like Zoom, but in Microsoft Teams and things like that. So what does that process look like if, say, I've got an organization and I want to make sure that we're spending wisely, right? So we're not going to be able to not spend for internet. We got to make sure that we've got the proper internet connections in there. I know you and I have worked several deals together, and all I'm doing is sending you an email address, or I'm sorry, and a physical address and a telephone number, and you're coming back to me with just a flood of different options. And a lot of times it's pretty obvious which route we need to be going, whether it's from the speed or the price, and especially when we're comparing that to what we're already paying. So talk to me a little bit about that service and going that extra mile to making sure that I'm paying for and getting exactly what we need to be doing.
Well, everything starts with a budget, right? And we know what we're working with, so we're very, very clear. We want to know what we're working with. But you're right. Opposed to picking up the phone and waiting on the line for what could be hours, or could be maybe 30 minutes, only to find that they don't have what you're looking for. I think the process is a little bit better than that, going this route. They contact you or myself and they say, hey, can you check this address? And we have that turned around same day for you. And if we need, and if we're in a rural area like Georgetown, where we don't have a lot of those big carriers well, there are services out there. We just got to know what we're looking for, what our budget is, and then we'll make it work. There's not been a situation yet, Josh, and I think you can attest, where we haven't been able to find good, reliable services where the customer was told these type of services don't exist. I think we have some really good examples here in Georgetown that, hey, we do have services, and you'd be surprised right along the border out there too, where we can pull in, some real good carrier grade services.
So what does that cost to do that? Is it, it's got to be hundreds of dollars or something like that in order for you to take the time for you and your team to research all the options and come back. What's that look like?
Yeah, so this is where, for me, we're an exclusive telecommunications consulting firm. Unity Communications is really going to take the hassle off of the providers and off of your shoulders. So we're no cost to you account management team that's going to handle everything from quoting, design, implementation of your telecom projects. We're Unity Communication, in essence, we're not competing with ISP providers. Instead, we're an alliance. So just about every provider in telecom is we can work with, and we'll be able to tailor a solution to your IT needs. The carriers pay me and my organization to help you in identifying what's best for you. So we tailor a solution. We work with CTTS and just really understand that there's always pros and cons with every provider, whether it's billing, service issues, implementation, customer service. We'll facilitate it all as a one-stop shop. So when there is a billing issue or when there is an outage, if we're working with you, we're gonna follow through and help you, get back up on your feet right away. If there's a billing issue, sometimes these bills can be really complicated. They may bill in arrears, or they may bill, differently than what was originally proposed. And so we want to make sure that what the proposal is in alignment with what your monthly billing is, with taxes and local fees. So that's really for us, it's just a really good value add, because everybody needs that extra support. When it comes down to it, folks alike don't like dealing with issues. I'd like to say we live in the microwave society where we got a problem, I push a button and it's fixed right away. That's our goal, right? We want to be able to address any type of issue, and then provide solutions for those issues. So, right, yeah, we'll identify what's causing those problems, you know, and then you know, just find out the root cause, understand, you know, what the solution is, make our recommendations and the benefits of those solutions.
I love I love that white glove service that you guys have, and not just taking the approach of just signing the agreement and passing it on to somebody else, but being there for those billing issues, being there for when there is an outage, because there will be an outage at some point.
Well, they'll both be there. There will be a billing issue. There will be an outage. And are you and do you have a team? Do you want to call in to an 800 number to get that resolved, or do you want to call Joey Montez, right? Or one of my guys over at Unity Communications? We're on standby to help. We've got an incredible back office that really just takes the load and that frustration off of you know, CTTS's plate, off the customer's plate. And so I think there's a lot of value in that. And again, the way we're paid is by the carrier. So if we're not getting services installed, we're not getting paid. If we're not maintaining that relationship come time for renewal, we miss out on that opportunity. And so we want to be, again, that one-stop shop account team to help support those needs.
So sometimes I know that some organizations may have gotten locked into like a long-term contract, or, you know, they still may have a year left on their contract. Is there anything that you guys can help in those situations?
Well, planning, right? Strategic planning. So if we know that there's contracts out there and you may have been in a 3 or 5 year contract, chances are you are, you know, you're spending a lot of money for those services because, you know, cost has been reducing over the years. But we're planning. We're really planning 90 days out, 6 months out. So we're not overlapping in billing. We come off of a solution onto another. A lot of people, you know, also want fast, right? So complex orders like fiber optics, just word to the wise out there, those, depending on facilities, which we're going to find out, can take anywhere from 45 days to 120 days. And if you've got a new construction site that you're building and your life's investment is going into this new project, a new building, you want to be prepared for what the obstacles you're going to face out there, which are permits, which are weather delays, which are, and the last thing that you want to happen is you put in an order and it gets canceled out, you know, a few months down the road because it shows customer not ready.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's our goal to really support that initiative too. We work on a lot of new construction sites, and there's not one construction project where there wasn't an obstacle that we face, whether that's, like I said, whether that's permits or weather delays, or, you know, the architecture firm went out of, you know, decided to go a different direction and didn't complete designs, and, you know, businesses have to start over. And the last thing we want is you waiting on the internet, the engine to the facility when it's go time, because you've already spent 6 months of a non-revenue generating situation, right? So our goal is to make sure that we're prepped, we have infrastructure in place, you know, a month before your go live day, and it's all handled exceptionally well.
So Joey, what are some examples of how you're saving organizations of all different sizes money? I know you're doing this on a daily basis. You've got to have some real world numbers that folks can have just a general feeling of what the, you know, the potential there is.
Yeah, so I'll give an example. So we've got a really well-known, very large scale, and there's several of those organizations here in Austin that we work with, you know, where we've got large mobility accounts. And oftentimes with those mobility accounts, we have a ton of different applications on there. We have different plans. So what Unity will do is we'll put together what is called a rate plan analysis. In that rate plan analysis, we'll look at your contract end date, your installs, what phones or devices are eligible for upgrade. If you have a device payoff, we put together a really nice comprehensive Excel spreadsheet that's going to give you detail on all of this. So names associated with the types of devices, whether that's tablets or watches or different types of cell phones. We're going to look at the plans and some of those anchor accounts that are on there, making sure that you're on the right plans. But we look at the last 60 days. In the example that I have today, one of the organizations that we're working with, we're able to save 40% off of their bill. And it hit right at the time of COVID, where they had to go in and do some major restructuring of their organization. And so the one thing that they had asked from us was, help us save on our mobility plan. If you can help us save there, that would be, that would be a lifeline for us at this moment in time. And so this particular customer was spending around $3,600 a month. We brought them down to $1,900 a month, right over 40% in savings. So really, really good. And when you quantify that, you're looking, over the next couple of years, because these mobile plans are set up on 2-year agreements, whether you're with AT&T or you're with Verizon. But over the next 2 years, that organization puts an additional $40,000 back in their pocket. We'll determine if there's, high usage also on the lines, giving you better control on the account. So we'll take an account over the last 60 days, everything that's gone on the mobile account, and we'll look at average data by line. We'll look at average total cost, your 30-day cost, your 60-day cost, additional charges that you may not know that are on there. You may go into a retail store and the representative says, thank you for coming in. Yep, you're an authorized user on the account. Here's what I did for you. And you walk out and your average cost is more than, $70 or $80 a line by the time it's all said and done. And then you get the bill and you're saying, what happened? And my plan has been changed. And why are we being billed like this? So we really take just almost like a sweep of the account and look at what we call as ARPU, right? We look at your average cost per line. If you're billing, and we'll be able to identify that really quick, if you're billing over $50 a line or $60 a line, we'll have that data and we can break it down to you on why it's costing you that much. And then we'll associate it with, all right, now that you kind of see where we've gone and we've been able to save you some money, I'll take a look at some of your company discounts. So typically on your AT&T or Verizon or Sprint or whichever carrier you're using, there's going to be a business discount associated, which is really nice for employees and families of the employees to take advantage of. A lot of companies don't know that they even have a company discount, right? And so there's some, those are unquantifiable dollars that can be really helpful for a family that is spending, $200, and all of a sudden they can get a 10% discount or a 22% discount, depending on the size of the organization, right? Or what we've negotiated with the carrier. Those discounts get extended to the family members and employees. So it's a nice, employee benefit, which we, as employers, we're trying to do everything we can to keep it sticky and retain good employees. Here's a good way to be able to do that. And how we get those discounts, the more services you have with a particular carrier, they're going to like you a lot more, right? And so, fiber optics generally can be a way of getting better discounts. So if we're able, I hate using the word bundle, but if we're able to bundle in services, it becomes a very nice case that I can bring to the carrier and say, here's where they're at. This is what we're bringing over. And we're looking for a 10 or 22, between 10 and 22% discount on these services. And 9 times out of 10, doesn't matter what carrier it is, they want that business, right? And so we just come up with a plan to be able to get that. So as we reduce costs in one area, we can allocate, those funds to better services through CTTS, better services through the carrier. You may not realize that, you've been, when you combine and look at wireline and wireless, that you're spending, $4 or $5 grand a month. That's what I mean. Like, let's take a deep dive and do an audit so we know what we're working with and we know how to address that for you. And we take that off your plate, right? We know as the CEO, you are human resources, you are the IT person, you are the, payroll person. You are sometimes wearing so many hats. And that's where we want to be able to lift the load off of your plate, partner with CTTS, and make sure that we are delivering what you need, because it changes every year.
Mm-hmm.
Cell phone plans, they change every 6 months. It's probably one of the most competitive businesses that are out there. Let's make sure that you're on the best plan. Let's make sure that you're getting what you need, and then getting the control. I think that's part of it too, right? We want to make sure you have control over those devices so people aren't abusing. As we go towards a work from home environment, we're gonna, sometimes that cell phone becomes the internet connection for the whole household. And before you know it, that cell phone has 60 gigs of data. Before you know it, that cell phone is costing the company, $2,000 or $3,000 because of overages. We got to control that, and we're able to help with that.
So Joey, it doesn't cost anything to get this reviewed and to have an audit. If there is an option that's better out there, you're gonna handhold us through that process. If there's any problems, you're gonna help take care of that for us.
Yes, sir. Happy to.
That we're gonna get 40% off our current bills. Why not? You're giving me all these reasons to move forward. How do folks get in touch with you? What's the best way for them to move forward? Because I know they're ready for all those things to just get off their plate and to save some money. So what does that look like?
Absolutely. So my email, joey@unity-connect.com. My cell phone, my one and only phone. So you text me, I'm gonna have a read receipt on there, and so you've got a hold of me. But get a hold of me through text, set up a time, schedule a time. We get booked up in a hurry, so we want to make sure that we have time on the calendar with you, and we set aside an hour, 45 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever works best for you. We can keep it very high level, but yeah, again, Joey Montez, joey@unity-connect. And then my cell phone personal number is 512-992-7770. So I'm your lucky number, that 777 in there.
777. Now, Joey, if I've got a stack of bills from the ISP that's a ream of paper thick, can I get that over to you and you'll take a look at that? Or
yeah, you drop it in Dropbox. Don't send that in an email.
Okay.
But we'll set it up through Dropbox or Box, and we'll take a look at it. Recently we looked at a bill that had 3,600 3,600 pages, 3,600 pages. And we got through it. And at page, I'd say at page 2,600, somewhere in there, we found that this customer hadn't been using hotspots for months and had been billing thousands of dollars for unused hotspots, right? At the end of the day, there's a good example of a good audit. But yes, if you got a bill that is this thick, we're not gonna run away from it. We're happy to help you. We're excited to help you. And for us, our goal is to streamline that bill, to give you an ROI, to make sure that you're getting what you need. In this particular organization, we were able to reduce in that instance, a bill that was around $45,000 a month down to $26,000 a month, right? Thousands of lines on here. So there's not, like I said, and don't be afraid to talk to me if you're a 1 to 5 man shop either. That's okay, because one day you're going to be that big company, and we want to grow with you, and that's our goal. We want to be there from stage 1 to the rest of your days, and have that continuity, have that one phone call, have that one touch point, because we live in a world where there's a lot of changes with carrier reps, with businesses. We know that it's super important to be an advocate for you, to help you weed through all of this and build a strong relationship here. That's our business. We're really built on relationships and referrals. We don't have to do a lot of advertising because the proof is in the pudding. And again, we're just grateful for the partnership, Josh, with you and working with your folks. And I think, sometimes you just need that touch point, and I'm okay to come out to the office. I have, we're keeping it safe. I got my mask. I'm happy to stop by the office and have a meeting with you and sit down with you and help all the way through test and turn up and post bill, etc. So that is us.
Joey, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us. And folks watching, if there's savings out there, there's changes in the market, we've got to be paying attention to these things, not only from the productivity standpoint from our employees, but also, being good stewards of our money and making sure we're spending every dime in a good place. So I encourage each and every one of you to reach out to Joey and his team. We'll put the numbers down below on the screen again, so that way you've got them here at the end of the show. But Joey, thank you so much. Look forward to having you on here again, and maybe
Yes.
we'll get digging deeper on a different specific topic or something like that
Sure.
folks see. So thanks again. I appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing everybody next time.
Looking forward to it. Thank you all. Please reach out to me.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye for now.